Hello everybody, welcome to race 9 of the iGPFun SRF League 2015 Season 2. We are racing at Sebring, the club version, that's basically half of the track. Very interesting track, especially in the low-powered SRF car. Qualify, pole position went to Jamie Fluke once again. Impressive time, 1:15.0, very fast. Much faster, in fact, than the qualified time in the official SRF series. Luca Varani is second, Thibaut Vernis in third, they are both at 15.2. 15.3 for Matthias Weiger, followed by Clark Williams, Edward Forer, Felipe Farinelli, Brian Bennett, and just about everybody else. You can read them on the overlay. Drivers are ready to start. Let's go live to the race. Thibaut Vernis, the blue and orange car, having a look on the inside of Varani. Meanwhile, Jamie Fluke in pole position seems to have run away already after two corners. Clean start by everybody. That's always the case in our league. And I just jinxed Clark Williams with the green and black cars. He spun out on himself, on his own in turn 3. Is now 5 position from the end. He was 5th on the grid. "35 laps today. This is the main straight, the back straight, but it's actually the longer one. Overtaking will happen at this spot, under braking. About 1.1 seconds the advantage of Jamie Fluke at the end of the last lap, of the first lap, sorry. Thibaut Vernis is very close to Luca Varani. Luca Varani in the purple car. Matthias Weiger in the yellow kart with a "It's not dirt, it's art" logo or motto on the back. The white and blue car is Edward Forer. He appears to have some damage on the rear of his car, the rear right. Gap is still 1 second at the end of lap 2 between Jamie Fluke and Luca Varani in position 2. 0.9 seconds, as you can read in the bottom half of the screen. Felipe Farinelli is actually attacking Brian Bennett for position 6. Brian Bennett has the aqua and orange car, Felipe in the black and red car. Behind them, Matthew Epstein and Pierre-Antoine Copol and Ignacio Hernandez Ross with a grey and red car. I apologize, the camera angles are not ideal. Hope we can still follow the race satisfactorily. That's a nice string of cars. Somebody is side by side at the end of a pack. I didn't quite get the drivers. I think it's Richard Moreno Paredes that just passed Ed Rice for position 15. Meanwhile, I'm looking at the standings, lap 3 or 4, I lost track, sorry, and it's still 0.8 seconds, 0.7 now between Jamie Fluke and Luca Varani. Meanwhile, Ignacio Hernandez passing Pierre-Antoine Coupol, and Matthew he went wide on turn 1 and lost a lot of position, 5 places. He's now 13. Behind him, Claudio Ferrari with a red car and Richard Paredes. With blue car is, I lost track, it was Mark Underwood, sorry, running wide and dropping to 13th place. Side-by-side racing by Jonathan Kier, trying to, actually, sorry, it's Bob Batalla and Pierre-Antoine Coupol passing each other on the straight. A lot of cars everywhere. It's an exciting race so far. Let's go back to the leaders, actually. 15.1 Varani's lap time. That's only 1/10 of the qualifying lap time. There was, of course, a little bit of a draft from Jamie. But still, the previous lap with no draft, it was a 15.2. So these 4 cars are really pushing hard and are opening a gap to Edward Forer, position 5 right now, 2.5 seconds behind this group. We'll follow the leaders for a while, but I can see in the live timing that there is a lot of passing or jostling for position, attacks, cars very close by all over the field. Look at Thibaut just right on the tail of Varani, not attacking. I think that's actually a smart choice, because if these guys start fighting, then the leader, Jamie Fluke, is just going to run away. By working together instead, they have been able to close the gap. So Jamie, 15.9 in the previous lap, he had a slide, and this is a really nice tight pack of 4 cars battling for the lead. This is the crossover. Basically, it's the part of the track that joins the 2 half of the international circuit. It's a very difficult corner. I expect to see accidents over here in this place. Accidents actually mean loss of control. It's almost impossible to pass there. It's a very, very narrow corner. Varani having a look on the inside of Jamie Fluke. The leaders just passed the second gear hairpin at the end of the straight. Varani is picking up speed on the draft. Let's see if we can get the telemetry. He actually had to brake before the beginning of the braking zone. It was cut off just a little by Jamie. Probably didn't quite realize that Varani was on the inside. Jamie appears to have some problem. Sorry, not problem, but he's not running away as the impressive qualified place was suggesting. This is Varani's car. Thibaut Vernis behind him, position 3. Seems to be having a run. That's a nice pass by Vernis. Yet there was some contact with Varani's car. He was pushed wide. Now Thibaut is attacking Jamie for the lead. Lap 7 completed. Yes, the outside. Nice pass on the outside. Now it's Jamie under attack by Varani. Let's take the overlay away. Matthias Weiger is sitting behind all of them, ready to take advantage of anything that happens ahead. Nice opportunistic pass by Thibaut on the previous lap. A pity for the slight contact. I guess there was no malice. That's Varani actually diving on the inside, locking the right front wheel. I don't think he actually meant to attack Jamie. I think he was just caught off by the early braking by Jamie, who is now on the outside. Running, having a look at the inside. T1, it's a difficult place to pass. Respectful driving by everybody, giving room to the opponent. Now Jamie has lost some speed, jumping on the curb. Varani on the inside. This is not a corner where you attack usually. That's a slow exit. Now it's Matthias taking a look. Varani again on the inside. Oh, that's a slide by James. He's out and spinning. So that's Jamie actually hit the Arco as well. Varani running wide on the dirt. That was an intense lap. Behind, I can see Felipe Farinelli, position 6, ready to attack Brian Bennett once again. Let's get the driver information back up. Brian was a little wide here. Ignacio is behind them, position 7, 1 second. That's quite some gap. Meanwhile, Pierre-Antoine is under attack by Jonathan here in the yellow car. Getting on the inside, that's turn 1. Jonathan was wide and Bob Batalla, first race for him in the iGPFun League, was trying to take advantage of the situation. Back to the leaders, actually position 2 and 3 is Matthias, very close to Luca, was 0.1 tenth behind him. You can see there is some slight damage on the rear panel of Luca's car, the back right back, whatever. Thibaut has now a 2.8 seconds advantage over this couple of drivers. Of course, Matthias, Luca and Jamie were fighting each other hard, so they had to slow down and Thibaut could run away. Luca and Jamie are actually the leaders of the standings after 8 races, 300, and 18 points for Luca Varani, 286 for Jamie Flug. Jamie has one more win, actually no, 2 for both of them. It's Evan Merry with 3 wins. So these two guys are actually fighting for the final win, final victory of the tournament. Not surprising that we were concentrating on their battle and sort of ignoring Thibaut, who is very fast but has skipped a lot of races. He has only joined 4 or 5 races so far. Meanwhile, I apologize, I have no idea what happened, but actually Brian Bennett lost 2 positions. Let's see if we can get a replay going. Sorry, it's taking a while, but hopefully we'll see why Brian lost 2 places. Here it's already behind. Let's see what happens. Was a little wide on this corner and he probably just missed the shift, I guess. I see no other reason for this sudden slowdown. Let's give us a chance to have a look at position 7, Pierre-Antoine Coupole. I apologize for the pronunciation. If it's wrong, just let me know. That's a nice pack of 5 cars with another couple just behind them. So it's Pierre-Antoine, position 8, Bob Batalla, position 9. Sorry, actually it's Jonathan Kier with a yellow car in position 9. Then it's Bob Batalla with a yellow sponsored car. Is having a look now on the inside of Jonathan. Very close racing, I think actually, that Jonathan decided to go a little wide to avoid trouble. That was a smart move, very nice driving and a very nice pass by Bob. Behind them in the brownish car is Matthew Epstein. Mark Underwood behind them with a blue car, position 12 now. Let's have a look. This is Mark. Our cars running together, well, just about everybody, as you can see from this blimp camera. But the red car towards the back of the group is Claudio Ferrari, currently in position 14. Ed Rice with the yellow, orange, amber, whatever, and black car is in position 15. Giannis Little is position 16 with a yellow car. It's going back position 2 and 3. Matthias with a yellow car is very, very close to Luca. 11 laps completed meanwhile. It's already almost 1/3 of the race. Matthias is going inside. Nice clean pass under braking. Varani left in the inside. He didn't move to cover. These two drivers have raced together a lot in the past year or so, even more. They know each other well. Varani now very fast. Of course, he was outside. He had the outside line, the ideal line in the previous corner, so it could get a proper exit. He did not attack on turn 1. Let's go back to the battle for 5th place. Felipe, followed by Ignacio. Felipe is from Brazil. Ignacio from Spain, and Brian Bennett from the United States. I apologize, I don't know actually which part of the US he is from. Quite a diverse, well, all the countries are represented, well, many countries are represented in the iGPFun League. Thibaut Vernis, the leader, is French. Luca Varani, that just passed Matthias I apologize, I actually missed the pass once again. Let's see if we can get a replay. Nice and clean again, running a little wide on exit. Matthias has a better run outside, just like it happened on the previous lap, but he's not attacking actually. He lifted, I could hear the engine drop. The RPM, of course. Thibaut Vernis, meanwhile, is now 3.8 seconds and seems to be able to lead the race uncontested. This is the view from Varani's car. You could see some sparks in this crossover section. The white car in the background is Edward Forer, is fourth, running a solitary race, but very consistent as he always is. That was close. Matthias getting very, very close. Maybe a little too much. Brian Bennett has overtaken Ignacio for position 7. I couldn't catch the action on camera, but it happens. Meanwhile, position 11 and 12. 11 is Matthew, followed by Richard Moreno Paredes with a black and yellow car. Richard attacking in T1. He actually backed off. Not an ideal camera angle. This actually is even worse. Pierre-Antoine has spun by himself, he looks. He has lost a lot of places. He is now 12. Claudio Ferrari just behind him. He has a good run. He's probably going to attack. No, he lifted actually. You could hear, I hope you could hear it. So it's once again another nice pack of cars battling each other. Different line between Pierre-Antoine in the blue, white and red car, the French colors, and Claudio Ferrari running with Italian racing red. Ferrari, that's his surname. It's also the red Ferrari color, of course. It shows the number 27, which is of course a historic number for Ferrari's Formula 1 cars. Gilles Villeneuve had it among other drivers. Meanwhile, Brian Bennett, let's try to catch a replay with the beginning of his action. Let's see, he was attacking Felipe Farinelli for position 5. Nice run on the main straight, going outside and being hidden by the overpass. Sorry for that. Felipe coming back with a on corner exit. They are side by side going into turn 1. Oh, actually Ignacio bumped into him. That was not the best of moves. I'm really sorry for that. I'm sure they both need to stop for repairs. I can see them running down in the order. Meanwhile, Edrice has actually just passed. Sorry, he's actually defending from Jamie Fluke. Jamie is back up to position 13 after his spin. He was on pole position, he was leader of the race. We kind of forgot about him, but he passed a few cars to move back up to position 13. 15.3, the fastest lap of his race. Yes, Jamie, I mean, he has some damage as well. I kind of lost them. You can see a string of what it is. I think it was 7 cars, 8 something. 7 or 8 cars, very close to each other. This track is actually often gives very nice racing. That's Claudio Ferrari slowing down. I think he actually cut the corner and had to serve a black flag, a penalty. Matthew Epstein, he's having some problems with turn 1. We have seen him losing pace, losing speed there in a few occasions. Jamie, meanwhile, is clearly much faster than Edrice. This is a view from the nose of his car. This one here is a very, very difficult corner. You are brought out. Jamie going outside. Meanwhile, at the front, just ahead of it. Oops, sorry. Yeah, actually, Ed actually lifted to let Jamie through. He was clearly faster, so I guess he didn't want to feel the pressure. I keep jumping with the camera angle, sorry, because there are a lot of battles actually. Matthias has caught Varani's back. Varani running wide, just like Jamie did in the early race. And now is Matthias sliding. Nice control, nice car control by Matthias. So these drivers actually pushed really hard in the early laps. Maybe they have shot their tires. Position 1 is Thibaut. Matthias having a look on the inside. Matthias is faster. 16 points faster than Varani, I mean. 16.7 in the previous lap, but of course that was the slide. Let me have a look. This is lap 20 of 35. 19 laps completed. I never had a chance to actually show the standings, and it seems I'm not gonna have a chance because Matthias is attacking on the outside. Sorry, Varani actually defends the position. Now Matthias is gonna have a chance on the main straight. I was saying sorry, I chose the poor camera with the bridge in the middle. These two guys are really enjoying their race. Side by side into turn 1, Varani was sliding, had to give up the position. Now Matthias with a nice pass on the outside as the lead. Actually it's position 2, I mean the lead of this small pack. Edward meanwhile is still 4th. It's now 2.4 seconds behind Varani and Weiger. You can see the damage. Whereas we jumped to a bunch of 4 cars. Again, let's try to get the beginning of his action. That's really intense racing. Let's wait and see what happens at the hairpin. That's 3 wide. Not quite now. Mark Underwood at the worst is now 4th of the group. And I apologize, I'm actually gonna go back, but it seems like fun. I want to see what this group is doing. We were looking at the battle for position 2, but these guys seems to be having a lot of fun too. Except that I lose them with the camera. So now it's at this stage is Mark Underwood, position 7. The overlays are actually wrong at this stage because of the replay. So Mark Underwood with a blue and white car with a iGPFun logo. Thank you for supporting us, Mark. Richard Moreno Paredes with a black and yellow car going inside at the crossover, so that's an interesting place to attack. Pierre-Antoine with the French colors and Jamie now going inside. Very, very exciting racing. Jamie trying to find the room to get on the inside, but Pierre-Antoine is there. Mark actually goes wide and loses 3 positions in 1 lap, but he probably could have defended a little more aggressively if he wanted. Jamie running on the outside of Pierre-Antoine. Pierre-Antoine braking early. I think people are probably wisely not defending against Jamie. He's a much faster driver. Let's follow him for a while. That was a slide. Nice save, Jamie. So let's see if I can read the standings. We are in lap 22. Thibaut Vernis leading the race. Let's have a quick look at him. No, let's not. Let's follow this group. It's more interesting. So Thibaut Vernis, position 1. Matthias Weiger, position 2. He's actually 7.6 seconds now behind the leader. These guys have the same pace, but Matthias and Varani were fighting each other and slowing each other down. Varani is third, position 4 for Edward Forer. 2.5 seconds behind Varani at this stage. Bob Batalla is 5th. Jamie, meanwhile, looking for a place to pass Richard. Mark Underwood has lost some ground from these three drivers. So I was saying, Bob Batalla, position 5. Excellent results for him on his first iGPFun race. Richard Moreno Parese, Jamie Fluke, Pierre-Antoine Copol, position 6, 7, 8. We are looking at them. Jamie going on the inside and easily passing Richard under braking. Mark Underwood, position 9. Let's get a closer look at him. That's not closer. That's really not closer. Position 10 is Claudio Ferrari. Jonathan Kier, 11. 12 is Brian Bennett. He dropped down a lot in the standings. He must have had some problems. Meanwhile, Pierre-Antoine is putting a lot of pressure on Richard. So position 11 actually now Brian Bennett. Claudio Ferrari just had a spin and dropped, he lost 2 places. Position 13, Ed Rice. This is Ed. Matthew Epstein, position 14. Tim Phillips, position 15. We have never looked at him. We were busy showing other cars, but these guys are actually having a very solid performance and an interesting race. Adam Bradshaw, position 16, and Fulvio Policardi is 17th. Pierre-Antoine still following Richard. Richard having a moment. Nice save. Well done, Richard. Some damage on the back of his car as well. These cars are very, very sensitive to even the slightest touch. Bodywork damage is pretty common. Pierre-Antoine diving inside, passing, but Richard is driving under him now. He's going to have the inside for turn 1. Actually, he doesn't need it. That's nice racing, very nice racing. 10 laps to go. Meanwhile, Pierre-Antoine is having a look on the inside of turn 1, and these guys have been passing each other 2 or 3 times per lap. Now they are again side by side almost. Pierre-Antoine defending the inside, and Mark Underwood is all over them. That's a big wobble by Richard. Mark actually lifted to avoid any trouble. That was a smart choice. Let's see. This is the closest fight for position. Luca Varani is now in 4th place. He has He's 1.4 seconds behind Matthias, so Matthias has a much better pace. Matthias has also gained ground on Thibaut, the leader, but with 10 laps to go, maybe 9 at this stage. Actually, I don't think he has any chance to catch him back. So we are on lap 27 actually, out of 35, and it's the first moment of rest, some pause in fights, duels, and overtaking. I can actually look at the timing and make sense of it. It's not constantly changing anymore. Closest battle is probably the battle for 15. Adam Bradshaw in the Irish colored car chasing Tim Phillips for position 15. That's a nice solid performance again by Tim, back in the points after his very good result at Charlotte, and I missed action again. Let's try to have a look at the replay, because Matthias has lost 2 places. He is actually off track here at the crossover. So let's see what happened to him. Solidly in second place, no pressure from the drivers behind him. Running wide, just like Jamie, hold it, lost it. The car jumped on the curb and he lost it. That's too much gas, Matthias. You could have rejoined earlier than that. Also, it seems to have some problems finding the correct gear. Let's look at Thibaut. Actually, we have never shown him on camera. .4 the last lap. It's a very fast pace. Fastest lap of the race is actually by Matthias Weiger, 15.03, with a draft, of course. Then there are Varani and Vernice at 15.1, 15.3 for Jamie Fluke. But let's go back to Richard and Pierre-Antoine fighting for position 7, with Marc just right behind them. Richard has to save the car repeatedly. He might have some problems with the tires, or maybe it's just the track. It is a difficult track. Lap 28. 7 laps to go when this one will be completed. Edward is now in 3rd place, Edward Forer. 1.1 seconds ahead of Matthias. We'll see if Matthias will be able to catch him back and pass him. Another battle is position 10 and 11. Brian Bennett and Jonathan Kier. Pierre-Antoine sliding. Let's see if Richard can take advantage of this. Looks like it. Nice side-by-side racing. This corner it's it's not that obvious to do it at this corner. So Richard is ahead again. I lost track of how many times this guy overtook each other. He doesn't seem to be over. Pierre-Antoine is menacing right behind him. Seems a little far away now. Let's have a look at Jonathan. Yellow car chasing Brian Bennett. Battle for 10th. Pierre-Antoine is now 0.2 seconds behind Richard. We'll go back to this group with Mark still following them. It's a fun race they're having. The lap time for Pierre-Antoine in the previous lap, but of course he had the slide and then the fighting, and now surely he must be passing. He's so much faster and he can use the draft on the long straight. Richard defending the inside. It's not gonna be easy for Pierre-Antoine. In fact, he is behind. Just slightly, but behind. 5 laps to go. Meanwhile, Pierre-Antoine going inside again. I would have not have left him the inside if I were Richard. But better for us, it's more fun to watch. Let me check the laps just to be sure. Yes, this is lap 31, so it's 5 laps to go, this one included. I have no idea who's gonna win the race among these 3 drivers. Just ahead of them, meanwhile, Jamie Fluke has almost caught Bob Batalla for position 5. He's now 1.4 seconds, 1.3 seconds behind him. Very, very good race by Bob. I want to go back to the 3 cars battle for 7th place. It's 4 laps to go now. I wonder if Mark has decided to sit behind them or behind the 2 other guys, or if maybe he's just a little slower and hanging on to them thanks to the draft and to the battles. One second, meanwhile, between Jamie Fluke and Bob Batalla. Let's have a look at the lap times. 16.3 for Bob the previous lap, 0.271 to be precise. Jamie 15.7, so he is faster, no doubt about it. Meanwhile, guess what? Richard is right on the tail of Pierre-Antoine. 0.8 second now between Bob and Jamie. .6 seconds. I don't know what to follow, to be honest. We would need a split screen. Let's have a look. 0.5 seconds now. Of course, there is also the draft playing a role now. Jamie is right on the back of Bob. We'll see. Bob defending the inside, but Jamie is actually too far away. Also, Jamie has... that was close, under braking. Jamie has car damage. Bob too, it seems. So it might be a little slower. Top speed is affected by the impaired aerodynamics. .9 seconds, you can see it's the gap between Jamie and Pierre-Antoine. Jamie is faster, but he cannot find the room to pass Bob. Nice defending by Bob. This is lap 34, so it's 2 laps to go. This one plus the next one. Bob taking some dirt on the outside. Jamie doesn't seem to be able to attack him, at least not right now. Meanwhile, it's still 3 cars in the 1.2 seconds behind them. So I was saying that Jamie cannot attack, but actually he had a very good exit of the hairpin. Having a look at the inside. Well, he's on the outside now, but it's just a kink. He was going to be on the inside for turn 1. I think Jamie ran a little too wide and he actually lost track position. Bob driving wide through the corner, leaving room for Jamie. That's excellent pack racing, very respectful racing. It actually leads to much more entertaining races. But this is the last lap for these two guys. Thibaut Vernis is winning the race. We don't need to have a look at the win. I'm rooting for Bob, to be honest. Jamie has won plenty of races. Meanwhile, you can see the... No! Bob has spun. I'm really sorry for him. I should not have said that I was rooting for him. And he's getting passed by Pierre-Antoine, Richard and Mark. And Brian Bennett is just behind him. Last lap, last corner for these guys. Nothing that Richard can do, it seems. 6th place for Pierre-Antoine. Here they are. Very entertaining race by these two drivers, these 3 drivers. Mark Underwood was right behind them. This is Mark. He ended up 9. Position 10 maybe. I apologize, actually I'm gonna check in a second. So the final results, actually it was Thibaut Vernis winning the race, 50 points for him. Luca Varani second, increasing his advantage in the main standings over Jamie Fluke, who ended up in 5th place after his spin in lap 12 or so in the early race. Edward Forer, we didn't look at him very often, but a very solid 4th place, another podium finish for him. Matthias Weiger, position 4. 5 is Jamie Fluke. 6, Pierre-Antoine Coupol. 7, Richard Moreno Paredes. 8, actually, Mark Underwood, not 10, sorry for that. Bob Batalla, 9, after spinning on the last lap. He was 5th, just a couple of corners from the end, under pressure by Jamie, though. Brian Bennett was 10. He was running 5th in the early race, when he just dropped back. Jonathan Kier is 11, Claudio Ferrari is 12, position 13 for Ed Rice, Matthew Epstein, position 14, Tim Phillips 15 again, 17 Adam Bradshaw, Fulvio Policardi was 17, then Felipe Parinello, the first of the retired guys, and then everybody else. I hope you enjoyed the race and the broadcast. It was fun, as always, I must say, in the iGPFun League. Hope to see you next time, and thanks for staying with us.